Hello sweet butterfly, it's Foz. Welcome back for this new journal on Monday, week 185. I decided to start with these 4 Fresco finish colors, which are the Paperartsy chalky paints. And I decided to start with an ombre just because this week for the A Layer a Day challenge, I'm not allowed to use an ombre. So I thought, well, that's exactly what I'm going to start with right here. But instead of doing it with my paintbrush as I usually do, I'm doing it with a baby wipe this time. And if you want to do this at home, make sure that you have a watercolor paper that does allow quite some work on it. Otherwise, your baby wipe will just destroy the paper you're working on. I kept it very soft and very dreamy because that's exactly how I wanted to have it. And then to make it even more dreamy and girly, I'm adding some very soft pink touches to it using my palette knife and again blending it in using a baby wipe. Although I know how I want to start the right side of my spread, I'm not sure yet I want to do something or anything on the left. But I thought, well, I'm just gonna apply some of that pink. And then we'll see later on what needs to come out and if this needs to be used as well or not. So I have no idea of the finished spread, but I do know how I want to get this rolling. And the next step I want to do is to apply some crackle paste. This is the one from Golden, which will make very, very fine crackles as I'm applying it in a pretty thin layer so that it dries fast and leaves me with something very delicate. I left it to dry by itself, and so far you cannot tell there's any cracks on there. That's how delicate they are. But when I go in like this with my Lindys, this is where the magic starts to happen. So I don't want to colorize the whole thing brown or black because those are the 2 colors that I decided to go for. I do want to accentuate those crackles though. So first I'm colorizing everything using these yummy colors. And then again, I'm going in with a baby wipe to soften everything, to blend everything, and to clean everything up so that I'm only left with this very delicate, yummy crackle paste. Use my Honeycomb stencil, but I don't want to use the whole thing, so I'm making another stencil using kitchen roll. Again, I'll put the link to my 5 kitchen roll techniques video in the description of this video. So I'm going for a shape that works with what I have to tell today, and then applying my stencil over it, I can also apply a layer of light modeling paste, again from Golden, and I want to use this one because it's super light, so it's super fluffy, and I can very easily mix it with these Paperartsy Fresco, which will give me colorized molding paste, which is still very, it's not running, it won't go anywhere except where I put it. And I'm mixing two colors so that I have some kind of gradient going on. Like I said, I cannot use gradient in my a layer a day, so I'm going to use gradient over here. Again, I left it to dry by itself, and as you can see, the molding paste did not alter the color of the Fresco finish paints. How cool is that? But I need to make it work with my soft, dreamy background, so I need to tone it down, and yet I want to maintain that grunginess. So to combine those two wants, I'm going in with my palette knife using the same colors that I used for my very first dreamy layer, and just applying it on the texture of the molding paste. At this point, grunginess won over dreamy because I decided to go in with some black and make it a bit more grungy, or grungier, if that's a word. And then of course, well, some black splatters because, well, just because I can and because I want to. I didn't have the patience for the black paint to dry, so I left it aside, and I thought, well, meanwhile, I'm going to start doing something on the left side. So again, a mask from Kitchen Roll, my Honeycomb stencil, and I wanted to create an inverse image from what I have on the right. So first starting with the Honeycomb stencil in the dark color, and then going in with the lighter colors. So that's what I'm doing. And again, I don't want to have too much texture going on because I have already quite some going on the right. So I'm just using it with, I'm just applying it, sorry, with a dabber over my Honeycomb stencil. But before going in with the lighter Fresco colors, I decided to apply a little bit of golden gesso, because those, well, that color, because it's just one, on the left is really, really standing out. So to make it as dreamy as the right side, I need to tone it down just a little. So I'm playing with gesso, and again, a baby wipe to push it into the paint so that it's toned down a bit, but yet still there. I hope that that makes sense. To make both sides work together, I thought that black splatters would be the thing. So I took out my black Posca pen, activated it, and then just made some splatters. And then I also wanted to bring back that honeycomb that was now completely pushed to the background. And I use a Unipin pen, a Unipin pen, but this is not a black one. This is a brownish one, so it works really well with the paint color that I selected. And then I'm coming in with my focal point, which is actually one of the stickers from this month's A Layer a Day challenge. I'm giving it some distress ink on the edge to take down the white. And to make it work with that line that I have going on, well, I used my numbers because, well, I need to use my numbers on my spread, just like every week. It's a phase. It will... Well, apparently it's not a phase because Kathleen, my friend Kathleen, pointed out a spread from a long time ago, like years ago, where I already used numbers like this. So I guess numbers are a staying thing for me. Well, so be it. Numbers it is. And these numbers on the edge of my circle make it look like that line that I did with the black paint is continuing over the molding paste. It took me a moment to decide which words I wanted to add, and I decided to go with obliviate insecurities because reasons. This one is from my Big Words sticker sheet, and then I also added a little word on my focal point so that it would still stick out, which says really with a question mark, because really. I'm looking at the composition to see where my word fits best, and this is where I decide to put it. And then to make it work with the background, I'm going in with some Neocolor 2, which is a watercolor pastel. And it will just give the stickers a hint of color without being too colorized, because I dilute them with quite some water just to take down the white away from the stickers. I was a bit worried that my word really would get mushed when I would close my journal because it's sticking out from over the molding paste. So I give it a little square of 3D foam, but of course my little square was too big, so I had to go in with my scissors and make it a bit smaller, and the struggle is real. Oh, before you go on commenting how the struggle is not a real struggle, I know. So these stickers really do stick. So when I decided to add some thread under it, I had to, well, work it to lift it up again. I decided to add some more of that paint over on the left side with my palette knife, just like I did over the molding paste on the right side. And then just to finish it off, a little bit of black distress ink on the edge. That's it for today's video. I hope you liked it. I hope I'll see you back here next time. Meanwhile, don't forget to put down a layer a day. That means that you will still be beating everyone who's talking about art journaling without doing it. See you back next time. Butterfly kisses.